Hey, what's up, everybody? Evan here with How to Kill a Madman, our mental health recovery the real way. So, basically, what the show is it's me essentially teaching you how to recover from mental illness. Now, who am I and why do I get this special privilege? Well, let me start with what I'm not. Sometimes a great way to define things about what they are is what they're not. So, I am not a doctor. I do not have a bunch of fancy degrees. If you want someone's opinion who has a bunch of fancy degrees, you can find them online. They're not hard to find. They're dime a dozen. They're called psychiatrists. Okay, you go look one up. Now, I'm also not a therapist, right? I'm not a PhD. I've not studied mental illness in college, which is a blessing. So if you want a therapist with all their fancy books and all their fancy clients and all their fancy techniques, you go ahead and look those up. Also, I'm not a published author. I don't have a huge following. As a matter of fact, this is just me talking to you, talking to myself. But basically, who I am and what I've done is basically I've recovered completely from mental illness, a life-threatening and ultimately what we call low-bottom drunks. You know, I didn't drink, but low bottoms, very low bottom mental illness, complete desperation, suicidal ideations, the gambit, all the meds, everything you ever wanted. Done and dead and gone forever. The person who was me, the madman, has now been killed, and now I get to live abundant and free. Now, it sounds cheesy and it sounds like and I will not lie, I'm not. I spent a long time in recovery, and I remember walking in hearing people talk about they're so grateful, they're so happy, all these great things, and I was like, these people are all full of, there's a bunch of lying mother. I like bleep myself out. Anyways, no, it's true, and it's possible. And it's completely possible for you. And my show is basically I want to just give you guys general advice and what you guys can do. I have essentially earned this right. I spent the last 10 years vigorously studying and recovering from mental illness of all sorts, of all shapes, of all sizes. That includes addiction, that includes food addiction, and that includes a lot of things. But basically why it took so long is, one, I wanted to make sure my stuff was good, and it is working. And I'm very involved in the mental health community. I'm very involved in the addiction community. I'm not very involved. I'm involved, but I'm not super involved. I don't make it my life's purpose. And basically, the stuff that I teach, people don't know and they find very helpful. So I say, why not make a show? Why not take 10 minutes each day to, explain some things to people? But basically, who I'm talking to are people like me. You're young-ish. I'm 34, so you may be in your 30s or your late 20s or your early 20s. Maybe even 21, I don't know. But basically, you're at a certain adult stage in life, and you're struggling with mental illness. And what does that mean? Are you schizophrenic? Maybe. OCD? Sure. Depressed? Anxious? All three? All four? Who knows? You basically what you want to do is your mental state, you want to improve it. Now, look, this is real talk. This is real mental illness. We're here to kill the madmen, which means a complete revolution of your psychology. I don't mean get back to normal. I want you to be better than normal. I don't mean to just feel okay. I want you to be thriving. I want you to be happy. And I want you to freaking live. So, with that said, basically today I just want to talk about what a psychological death is. Now, this is a phrase I stole from a man. His name is Samael Aun-Weor. He is a spiritual guru. He is very profound. You can read his books. They're online. They're very hard to read, but you can try it. But basically, he talks about revolution of the consciousness, which means a revolution. So, taking one thing and completely changing it into something else, a full revolution. And consciousness, your mind, right? And the only way to do that is to achieve psychological death. Now, he goes into a very profound way of doing this. We're just talking about how can I achieve psychological death of my depression, my anxiety, my OCD, my bipolar, etc., etc., etc. And that's what the show's all about. So, basically, we're going to be working through everything that I've done and everything other people have done that worked and helping you achieve that same psychological death. And the goal is not to be okay. I already said that, but the goal is not to live in your mom's basement and garden outside all day and be on disability. The goal is for you to thrive. And I feel like people with mental illness settle for less. We settle for just being We settle for, well, at least I don't want to kill myself today. That's not good enough. And that's not going to be good enough for you. It may be better than you are now, and that might be the first obstacle, is to get you to the point where you don't want to kill yourself every day. I've been there. I totally get that, and if you need help, I'm here to help you. But we want to get you past that, okay? We don't want to get you to, I'm just not suicidal. That's not psychological death. That's psychological numbing, and I'm right? We want psychological death. We want you to kill that. You know what I mean? We want to kill it. Now, we got to use hard language. It's a real thing. I will not lie to you guys. I'm not a huge, like, let's go look up things online for mental illness. I used to be. The community has changed extensively in the last 5 or 6 years. And the reason that I don't is I find that, one, I just don't resonate with I'm going to call it frou-frou happy talk, but a lot of it is just like frou-frou happy talk. You got to take care of yourself. You got to set goals. You got to make small achievements. It's all about self-care. It's all about being positive. You got to wake up each day and journal and gratitude. And you hear the same iterations over and over, these same platitudes, these same like just weak ass things that kind of help, sure, but that's not real. I'm sorry. If you wake up and you're suicidally depressed, you are not going to be grateful. You're not going to write a list. You're not going to take care of yourself, right? You're going to just sit there and smoke weed all day and throw your life away. Yeah, I get it. It sucks. But guess what? You don't have to. You can. You don't have to. And someone's got to tell you that. Someone's got to be real and be like, yo, if you're having a bipolar episode, you're manic out of your mind, you spend $10,000 on freaking shots of Patron. All right, $1,000 on shots of Patron. You wake up next morning full of guilt. You're not going to be grateful. You're not going to take an Epsom salt bath. You're not going to get a massage. No, you're going to be depressed. You're going to be insecure. You're going to be scared. And you're going to smoke weed all day until you pass out. That's okay until it's not. And I'm here to tell you on that real talk, if you're having bad days consistently all the time, you need to get help. And the way you get help is you need to start right now by making a decision. I will not suffer anymore. I will not suffer anymore. Too many people, and this goes way back to what I was talking about before, they settle for less. You don't deserve just not to be shitty, not to just have a bad day, right? Not to have just, I'm just not mentally, no. You deserve to thrive and you deserve to make it. How do I know that? Because you're one of God's children. Sure, you want to make it spiritual? Let's make it spiritual. Anyways, so how we're going to get there is psychological death. And it takes steps and it takes action. So if you don't want to do anything, well, at least just listen to this and maybe you'll get motivated. But if you don't actually do anything, nothing's going to happen. And it's that dumb saying, nothing changes if nothing changes. Well, it's kind of true. It's kind of true. So we'll start with the fundamental premise. Never give up. Never give up hope. Never, ever, ever, ever quit on yourself. Or if you do quit on yourself and you do give up hope, stay down for a while and then pick it back up. Okay, I've quit many of times, but I didn't stay quitted, if that's even a thing. I didn't stay quitted. I didn't sound like that. I didn't stay quitted. I kept going, and we need to keep going, and we all have to keep going, and we need to keep moving forward. Okay, if you don't know what to do, that's awesome. I will help you figure that out. But if you're not even willing to do anything, then no one can help you, and the help is never coming. And I tell this analogy. It's like mental illness is like this. There's a war, and that's your mental illness. And you are sitting in your house, and you have two options. One, hide in your house. Do nothing. Take the easy route, and that war is going to come to your house, and it's going to kill you. Right? Or option two, you're sitting in your house, and there's a war outside, and the war's not going anywhere. You pick up your sword, you pick up your shield, you pick up your machine gun, whatever. You go out there and you fight the war. You got to make battles. You have to combat it. You want to achieve psychological death? It's a fight. It's a fight. It's a fight. Your mental health's a fight. It's not going to magically get better. Once you are depressed and you've been depressed for a long time, you will not snap out of it. There is no such thing. If you are addicted to marijuana or alcohol, you will never just not be addicted. Do not wait for your circumstances in life to change for you to change your circumstances. I could be addicted to weed, and I could have a sweet job and a nice gig and a great girlfriend. That shit doesn't matter. Oh, I'm be depressed. And vice versa. I could have nothing, and I could be broke, and I could be alone. I could live with my parents and still be addicted to weed, and that shit still sucks. Guess what? It sucks either way, and the reason is me, you. The reason is you. The cause of all your problems is you. The problem is, and I will say this, you're not you. There are multiple yous. There are so many yous inside your head that they fight for attention. And the problem is mental illness lets the shitty ones win. It lets the you suck, you're fat, you're dumb, you're worthless, you have a mental illness, you're retarded, you're blah, blah. You're all of those things, right? That's the ones you let win. And when you let those win, you don't do anything about it, okay? We're going to kill those. Literally going to achieve a psychological death of those terrible, terrible, what we call ego states. They will no longer exist. We are here to slaughter them. They might pop up their ugly head, but you're going to be such a chained mental jujitsu artist that you'll just strangle them out as soon as they pop up. It's like crushing white belts all day. Okay? So, let's recap real quick for all my fans. Do I even have fans? This is my first show. Anyways, let's recap. Number 1, my name's Evan. That's it. Anyways, I'm here to help you with the real talk and the real ways, the real profound mental health recovery. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I don't got a bunch of books. All I got is that real-time experience in the streets. I write streets because I came from a middle-class family. Anyways, regardless of the situation. Next, we want to get better. We're not okay with just being just being baseline, just being okay. I want you to be the best you, to be strong, to be powerful, to be et cetera, fill in your platitude from your Instagram post and the daily motivation, okay? Those might be dumb, but I want those for you, okay? I want those for you. You want those for you. Do not settle for just not being depressed. Settle for being amazing. Next one. I don't do soft. I'm not gonna give you these feel good, frothy, emotional appeal shenanigans because they don't work. Okay, and it's like I said, if you're depressed and I tell you to do a gratitude list, you're not even gonna do it. And if you do it, you're still gonna be depressed. So what do we have to do? We have to need action steps. We need action steps for the right problem. We need the right tools for the right problems. A gratitude list is not the right tool for someone who wants to kill themselves at that current moment. Gratitude list might be nice for someone who's achieved somewhat of stability and needs to be reminded of all the good things they have. Okay? Anyways, everything has a tool. I'm not necessarily attacking anyone for no reason. The next piece, the psychological death. Okay? We will be analyzing and studying these, what I call ego states, these dark parts of you. Well, excuse me, the dark parts of me, you're fat, you don't make enough money, you're not good looking, you have a zit on your head, no one's going to watch your stupid videos, you're not all of these ego states, we will be slaughtering. We're going to kill them. That's what we do. Psychological death. Okay? And like I said, if they pop up, we take them down, we beat them up, we choke them out, and they die. That's how we roll. Okay? We're jujitsu. We'll call it mental mixed martial artists. Okay? That's us. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to learn all of those things. I will take questions. I will answer things just right here in the comments. What you guys want to know about, what you guys want to know. Then the next episode, I'm going to be talking about how do you know if you're depressed or not? That seems to be a very common question. It might seem obvious, but it's not. So I will address that next time. This is our premiere launch episode. I'm Evan. This is How to Kill a Madman, and I will see you next time.